Oh, yes, blessed love to each and every one. Of course, you are definitely with us. It's another moment of a Chalice talk. We give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie the First, of course. Honorable Priest Isaac here with you. We have a wonderful settings today. We will be joined in a few moments by the Honorable Prophet Moambeh, aka my Lord Moambeh, and we'll be definitely speaking of things, EABIC, Rastafari, and other mystic happenings. So that is something I'm looking forward to. I'm just putting my chalwat together and waiting for the Honorable Prophet to come in. But before we go too far into the program, we have some more announcements here that we would like to make. Of course, you know that we celebrated some of our scholars who completed their first course as it relates to our international homeschool and our international homeschool classes, astronomy, and of course, African history and heritage. So what I would like to do today, I would like to highlight 5 more. This is a whole family, by the way. 5 more young ones who have definitely completed their course in astronomy and African history and heritage with the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. You know, I'm extremely proud. So let me first of all say blessed love and congratulations to Benjamin Bradshaw. Blessed love, brother Benjamin. And let's say congratulations to Brianna Bradshaw, as well. As I say, it's a whole family. And we like to give thanks to Zechariah Bradshaw. Oh, yes, wonderful works. I'm going to show you what's going on. And also give thanks to Zadie Bradshaw for all the wonderful works that they did throughout the year that they were with us going through, again, their African history and, of course, astronomy. And blessed love to the matriarch of the crew, Tiffany Bradshaw. Most of you would know Sister Tiffany. She has sat with us already on Mind Your Own Business, and she will be sitting with us again very soon. We will be talking about the spirit of yoga and Kemetic yoga. So let me just once again congratulate that whole household all the way there in Canada. And let me just show you what's going on. Oh yes, they are the lovely young ones who have definitely, as I said, achieved their certificate in the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge course as it relates to African history, heritage, and of course, astronomy. So give thanks again for that love. Give thanks to the blessings. Again, I would encourage everyone to be a part of our homeschool program. Remember, you don't have to wait until September or the new school year to enroll in our international homeschool classes. Just contact me at any time. You can email me now. You see, I'm speaking to you now. Don't wait until the program is done. We're still waiting on Prophet Moambeh. Just email me now, priestisaac27@gmail.com. And, you know, whatever you entitle the email, just let me know, hey, I want to enroll in the homeschool classes. I want some more information. I will send you this brochure here that you're looking at. It's an e-brochure, electronic brochure. And I will send you a short video as it relates to what you would receive when you join up for the International Homeschool Program. As I said, we offer African history, heritage, and of course, astronomy. And our classes, they are sent out every day, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I should say. The classes are in video form and they appear in your inbox daily, and very short videos, some 15 minutes, some 20. The longest video may be 30 minutes, but for sure, we take the youths them basically all over the globe when it comes to the African history and heritage, the different temples in Kemet, Zimbabwe. I mean, we go all over. Then when it comes to the astronomy, I mean, the youths and them, by the time they're done, they'll be telling you the names of the different stars and how the star is made up and the elliptic of different planets. Trust me, it is something that you would be definitely happy that you made that investment in your young one. So just contact me. As I said, you don't know the drill. priestisaac27@gmail.com. That's priestisaac27@gmail.com. And I'll give you more information. Or if you're ready to go, well, that would be even better. So again, congratulations to the young ones, the full Bradshaw family for their success and their achievements. Of course, you know, we're very honored. And let me just say too, a few of you have contacted me personally and showing appreciation for what you would think, or not think, but what people would refer to as my achievements. Of course, you know that I've been recently I recently received my certification within my course as it relates to archaeoastronomy. And many of you have contacted me and given thanks for that. So I do appreciate that as well. For those who didn't see the interview that we did with Observer Radio, that certification came from the University Politecnico di Milano, which is a university in Italy, since 1863. So you could imagine when you hear them kind of dates, and so you don't know them university built on the backs of slaves. Eh? Yeah, so whatever it is. But anyway, give thanks for those who have given such appreciation. And keep in mind, all of that has a lot to do. A lot of people are not aware of the amount of works that we are putting in as it relates to Greencastle Hill, because right now we are preparing a new book, a new manuscript. We are doing a lot of studying on Greencastle Hill. Those of you who follow the works, you understand what I'm talking about. Literally unraveling the different hierophany that appears on the hill. I mean, the Greencastle Hill is a study ground for anyone that's into archaeoastronomy. And I mean, I'm the archaeoastronomer on the ground. So we definitely put in a lot of work into that. I don't have the time to go into detail now, but of course, you know, we have a GoFundMe page. And again, the reason why that GoFundMe page was set up, that was set up by Rastafari Experience Antigua, not necessarily the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. This is another company. Rastafari Experience Antigua is what deals with Greencastle Hill. And as I've explained before, as I said, this may not be the time, I'm just kind of segueing into it. We as a company, we have been literally authorized by the environmental department here in Antigua to literally manage the development of Greencastle Hill under a specific project that the department is doing, called the Shirkley Mountains Project. To go to the depths of that, I mean, it'll take all day long, but we've done programs on that. So again, we do have that GoFundMe page. I mean, I think I've showed some of you in details what it is that we're doing as far as our business plan. And remember, there's a lot of politics behind of this. I mean, there's a lot of legal aspects behind of this too, things that is not supposed to even be said here on the air. So just letting you know, even the certification that we have received, all of that is a part of the chess game that is being played here as we are defending Greencastle Hill. So again, you could visit the GoFundMe page, Greencastle Hill, and check it out. In fact, listen, if you don't want to even go that far, you could make any donation towards that project. I mean, it's a lot, you know, the research alone, plus the building. I mean, we can go into the depths. You could even contact me privately via the email presizer27@gmail.com, and I will give you more detail one-on-one and show you exactly what is happening on the ground. But for those who don't want to do all of that, and you really would like to donate to the project that you see that we are doing, well, you can even use the CashApp. Remember, we have the CashApp link. It's right below in the description of this video. You scroll down, you see the CashApp link, which is Atonra 2723. You could just press it right now and it will carry you right there, and you could make your donation. But you got to be clear that this donation is towards the GoFundMe donation as it relates to Greencastle Hill. My brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, that's a serious project that we are doing at the moment. I think those of you who follow the works for at least a couple of years now, you can clearly see that this is a serious battle that we are keeping up here. And we definitely have our foot in the door, and give thanks for that. So anyway, I've packed my chalwa, and you should get your chalice as well, definitely. Of course, brother Mehdi is the one that prepared this wonderful chalice here for me. You're looking at some of the wonderful works on screens of brother Daniel, and this is what it's all about. You know, we pool our resources together, and you know, we share the wealth and share the profit, if you want to put it that way. It's all about economic growth. In fact, I intend to have brother Daniel, Prophet Daniel, Prophet Ijah Star, and Prophet Sheldon should be with me next Friday, going into the Sabbath for that upcoming Chalice talk. All right, so enough about that. As I said, we will be joined by the Honorable Prophet Moambeh in a few moments. In fact, I know for sure he should already be standing by. So let me just check here to see if he's here, and we go straight into what we have to do this Sabbath. Yes, family, blessed love, once again, give thanks to the Sabbath day coming in. And as promised, we have the Honorable Prophet Moambeh here with us, also known as my Lord Moambeh. Blessed love, my Lord, give thanks. Definitely he is with us all the way from the Milwaukee branch in the United States of America. And of course, as I said, we have invited the good brethren here to sit with us in the Tiger's Nest as we sup on a few cups, chalice talk, and speak of things EABIC, speak of things Congress-wise, and other things of importance. So let me just say, blessed love, my Lord, give thanks for accepting the invitation.
For the honorable peace, give thanks for the invitation, my Lord, to be with you and your magnificent audience worldwide.
True, my Lord. Well, you know, even before we go to the depths, you know, as I tell the family, this is Chalice Talk, the way that the program has been designed. And listener, Dia is officially my first visitor on Chalice Talk. I don't like to say guest, but you're officially the first visitor. So we can definitely put that in, if you want to say, the archives. And what we usually do, we spend a moment and light up. The audience have their pipe too, at least those who have their pipe. And we light up and we meditate, we elevate, because you know, reasoning does be different when it comes to when man sit behind a cup. So that's really the idea of Chalice Talk. You know, even when we're gonna have guests in the future, you know, I encourage you one to bring the pipe. I don't force nobody to, if they don't want to, but we definitely want more chalice in the house. We're not looking for too much spliff. Chalice Talk is the talk. So my Lord, I know this evening, the two things I know I want us to really touch upon. I would like to speak of DI being in the Congress for some time now, even way before I, and you know, your encounter with the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. Plus, also before we leave, we want to have a little reasoning on the Honorable Empress Rachel as well, as I know there are some things that you yourself would even love to share with myself and the audience. In fact, for our meditation moment, we're going to be taking in a bit of the Honorable Empress Rachel. And this was some years ago, 2008, in Marcus Garvey Park in the United States, where we had a benefit concert for the tabernacle. So my Lord, I'm just going to bless my chalwa, give thanks to the Black Christ in flesh, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity and love. And pray the Most High bless us as we partake in thy terrible name. Holy Emmanuel,
King Selassie, Jah, Rastafari.
Lord,
let's
go through, my Lord.
I
will just I'm gonna mute my mic, but we go.
Honorable Prophet and Priest, Honorable Empresses and Goddesses, you know, give thanks for the Ethiopian African Black International Congress, founded by our leader and president, the Honorable Prince Emmanuel Charles Edwards, who come as a Black Christ from this time to that time again, you know. And when I say, Emmanuel come as a black Christ again, you have no doubt about that, you know. God Matthew first tell you, he shall come in the day of Emmanuel. Emmanuel name means God is with us. And so the one man we see in the Rastafari movement come with this principle and this salvation to turn the heart of black people back to what they were. Because we were no criminal. You created us a godly people. And Babylon come take out our foreparents and bring them out here and turn them criminal. So Emmanuel made this church to let us know we can be a brand new creation, you know, born again spirit, you know, washing the blood of the Lamb, you know, 5 bleeding home, just shed, you know, carry the cross 82 miles. It was a black man, you know. Some more black people will love themselves and know say that them are the creator of earth, they are the first. We are the children of Israel, you know, the Israelites. We are the children of Israel, we are the first Jew. So I give thanks for everything of this foundation. I give thanks to Emmanuel, I give thanks to King Selassie, I give thanks to Marcus Garvey, the only 3-in-1, prophet, priest, and king. Empress Nenen as the one. Empress Nenen I. And that was the time for me. I adore our mother, you know, the first Mary, you know, the black Mary, because the king and the queen, they crowned the same time. You know, so when I want to talk of the king, Empress Nenen name was included. Because you have a father and a mother, you couldn't have a father alone. So a father and mother of creation. So we give thanks, you know, for the gathering. And we ask, you know, each and every one for support. We are building our tabernacle in Jamaica that has been destroyed. And you know, every maker make a marker. And that's a 1-1 cocoa-full basket, you know. And that tabernacle is Moses' tabernacle. They said Moses from that time just come back so simple that the world didn't even know it. You know? Just come back simple. You know, King Selassie and Marcus, Emmanuel, those 3 men come back so simple. That's the world. Can't believe that them man they flash lightning and thunder and earthquake. Because Marcus Garvey said, I shall come back in a whirlwind and a thunderstorm. You know? So when we see a thunderstorm and the whirlwind, you know that Marcus Garvey that come back again. And I give thee thanks. And I'm gonna sing this chorus, you know, to let you know the blessing that Rastafari bring. The black people ever know.
No, I think
the black king. First they said king of creation, you know. Is the king of majesty, Empress, the last year. Only Emmanuel I.
Yes, yeah.
And I give thanks for the woman freedom and the Empress them will stand up in this righteous cause, you know. We stand up in an Empress Nenen principle and beat down Elizabeth principle, you know. So we come to this man for people. Because we are the first, I and I, first queen, black woman, she bring every nation. So we want the black brother them treat the black sister them good enough. And I start show them the respect again, man. And these people deserve it. You understand? Because our body that give us that. So what the black brother just love the black sister, man, and show up, you know, leading her and show her that she's highly presentation, she's a highly presentation, you know, because anything you do to your black sister, you know, Empress Nenen, you know, said me like that, the least you do unto one, you do it unto him. Anything what a black brother do, she's black. Sister, an Empress Nenen my beat up, an Empress Nenen my I suffer no one year come to fit to them, to take care of you them. You know, and when they say Empress Nenen, you go, Empress Nenen will say, I know you not. But when I was hungry, they didn't feed me. When I was naked, they didn't clothe me. So it's time to come back to us, you know. We love each other. And I'm gonna sing this chorus, you know? Favorite chorus.
Favorite chorus.
If you only know the blessing Rastafari, you would never stay away, if you only saw the devil spread with love, you would come to that place today. Oh, Father, don't
Yes, hello.
Rastafari, did you come? There is nothing you have to say. So be wise and step inside and do not be like some of
Chalice talk, you
them
know.
who have known their own nature is the way. I want everyone to join in. If you only know the blessing Rastafari, you will never stay
Never
stay away if you only saw that paper spread with love.
Soon done, soon done.
You want
Let it rock, man.
I hear you, man.
Oh, Father, door is open wide. Rastafari, may you come. There is nothing you have to pay. So be
Free of charge.
inside and do not be like some of them that show their own nature the way. China only Mosiah, Zion, Zion, Lord only Mosiah, we need the ever and most gracious God to take the voice like that can teach us one. One God for us, Holy Emmanuel, salvation, that is the only thing that can stand. Everything gonna fade away. Just keep righteousness in your soul, you know. Remember the Sabbath day is holy. 6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work, and the 7th day the Sabbath of rest. Exodus 20 and Exodus 21. And that is a serious message in our lives, you know. I just said, remember, every one of the commandments said, thou shalt not. That one said, remember. So God be with you with the heart till we meet again. Blessed love, my Lord and Empress. Honor, Islam, bless.
Empress Menini, King's Class, Jah, Rastafari. Yes, my Lord.
Yeah, blessed love again, and of course, give thanks again for that royal rendition. Just to the family again, we have the Honorable Prophet Moambeh with us. Definitely straight broadcasting from the Milwaukee branch of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress Church of True Divine Salvation. The Honorable Prophet is the field marshal really of the House of Bobo.com, and at the same time, you could find him on Facebook, My Lord Moambeh, where he highlights continually something that I've highlighted before, and I think it's something worth highlighting again. The carrying up of the daily devotions, even as a household, you know, Psalms reading and the morning devotion. And it's obviously something that he does continually. I even said to myself, if we have to carry, because we just do the Psalms reading here, I even said, man, if we miss the Psalm, because we don't do that regularly. I don't mean the house as a Congress. And I say, if we miss the Psalm, I know I can check Prophet Moambeh. He has to have the Psalms well lined up. You know, so give thanks, my Lord, for being with us. And give thanks for your presence. And as I said earlier, it's two main things I wanted to touch upon. And as a member of the Congress, my Lord, and the audience who may or may not know DIR of DI, if you could give us, you know, a little rundown on who you are and your association with this Congress, and I know you have certain connections that you have made with the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards as well. I would give thanks if DI could express such of that to the congregation, my Lord. Bless it.
Worthy Majesty, first of all, my Lord, give thanks for this honor and privilege, you know. Give thanks to Father Almighty, you know,
my Lord.
Bring us all as one, you know, at this hour. For if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be reasoning. We wouldn't have breath. So I give thanks the Black Christ in flesh who brought all things to our remembrance. Holy Emmanuel, King Selassie.
Rastafari.
Ah, that's a lot. Honorable, thanks, you know. I was born Benito Acosta, you know, raised in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And I'm just going to jump straight into it, Majesty, you know, because, yeah, you know, this is how we was brought up, you know. In the world, in the Virgin Islands, we only knew, you know, about, you know, the system we was brought up in, you know, and Rastafari was not no way, shape, or form, as we all know. You're gonna hear the same story over and over. Every single Rastaman in the Caribbean knows growing up, we were never given a very positive image about the Rastaman. You know, so being brought up in that type of, you know, confinement, if you will, right? You know, we focus mainly on our schoolwork and what society thought was acceptable, you know, and so we grew up in a system, you know, doing the best that we can within the school, you know. We was class vice president for our senior year, class president for our junior year, you know. I had a urge for working with teams, you know, from very young, you know, because my first team was my brothers and my sister. You know, we was, you know, I was put in charge to make sure that nothing happened to them, you know. So growing up, you know, we had to kind of set a standard because light-skinned children in the Virgin Islands, you know, and us with the kind of temper we have, you know, because we come from a family that mix, you know, we have the, you know, Hispanic blood, and then we have the Taino, then we have the, of course, our African heritage, you know, and that mix put a rainbow type of, you know, existence in us, you know, and within our family, you know, true, I was the first grandson in my mother's side of the family, actually my father's side too, you know. That was a little bit of pressure, you know. So coming up, you know, it was very interesting that Rastafari was always within the music in the Virgin Islands. You know, we grew up, of course, with Bob Marley, listening, you know, to, you know, Third World was big, you know, Burning Spear was big, you know. So we grew up, in the Irie vibes, right? I was saying Jah for things and not really so blasphemous, you know, kind of like, you know, we all are in the Virgin Islands in the Caribbean, not knowing who Farai is, but always just saying the lingos, right? You know, so it's really interesting that how it came to I, you know, how Rastafari came to I was in a vision telling me not to do something that I should have listened, you know, and I wasn't brought up in the church, I must say. You know, I was brought up in a very tough environment because my mom divorced from my dad when I was 8 years old. So that was very, you know, it put a real set of pressure, you know. So in that environment now, you're only focusing on one thing, you know, and that is, you know, survival, you know. So really and truly, we weren't exposed to too many things. You know, the Catholic religion that we were brought up in was seen only on Christmases and holidays. And, you know, the rest of the days was, you know, school days, moving through days, you know, sports was big into the sports because that was like a getaway, you know. And so that, you know, baseball was my getaway, you know, sport. I was really good at it, you know, and really, you know, was good at many, many things, you know, but art, you know, was my number one thing, you know, and I never really took it serious because I couldn't believe that something that I could do so easily, I could make a living off of it, you know. So, you know, that's one of the tragedies of being spoiled, you know, with too many talents, you know. You just don't know which one to pick when it, you know.
So all those artwork behind there is your work?
All of these works, my lord, are my work, except for Empress Menin right here. These are pictures and stuff, but yes, my lord, these,
so that
these
Trinity,
are part of
that Trinity there, that Trinity there with the rainbow, that's you. No, you had it good where you have it good there. I see it good, right behind them. Okay.
All of them Trinities, my lord. Yes, God. You know.
I know the picture well. I didn't know it's your picture. That's great. Wow.
This was part of the journey. You know, this was part of the journey into, you know, the Bobo Shanti order. You know, so all these paintings are part of, you know, Iman contribution. You know, when I came to this light, you see, it was like my oh, Jah, I have found him, you know, that chorus, you know, and I am glad, you know, whosoever he may be, for I am satisfied to know that he abideth in my soul. Hallelujah, I have found him, you know, and I am glad, right? So then, of course, the art belongs to him. Well, what doesn't belong to him, right? So everything, so now my whole focus now, rewinding a little bit, pardon me. And this is our part of the cleansing innings. You see all of this mucus and thing that you're hearing back there, my lord, all of that is part of this whole development that King Emmanuel bring about, you know, as a great physician, you know, showing us how to take care of our goodie and the different things we're gonna be going through, you know, and, you know, but as before all of that, you know, I finally took serious the idea of being an artist, and I went to school, you know, California College of Arts. Pardon me.
Chalice too.
That didn't, you know, that was very hard, you know, so I had to return home to kind of regroup because the idea was military school. I had a military mindset. My father was, you know, in the military, you know, my uncle went through, you know, a traumatic experience in Vietnam, you know, so, and the thing about my uncle, he's so amazing, you know, the man, you know, went through an experience where he got burnt, and then he became a fireman and retired a fireman. So it's like that kind of spirit, you know, kind of what a resilient kind of, you know, understanding that we really have something about our family that you know, we had to explore more, you know, and the only way that you can explore that really is going into yourself and seeing what's inside of you, right? You know, so this was the journey. The journey was to find out who is God, right? Because for one thing, I always wanted to be a father. The reason why was because my father tripped up a little bit. As much as I love him, you know, he tripped up a little bit with, you know, with my mom that I loved also very much, you know, and a lot of homes we have that abusive situation, and, you know, mom couldn't take it, so she had to leave. So my thing was, I was never gonna be like you, Dad, you know, and that's where that Empress love come in now. You see, where that Empress met in, you know, that other half mentality, you know, really meant something within I growing up, you know, just being, you know, that security, you know, and feeling that security that my, you know, own mother provided, you know, for us, you know, and wanting to champion that, to see how would it be to have a family with both mothers and fathers, right? You know, and that was something I always, you know, aspired to have a family and be able to explore that, you know, knowing my own talents and knowing what I could achieve, you know, would that have been the case in my own life, you know? So, but as wild as I was, you know, and the mentality of being militant, you know, because after high school, I went to take the military test, and a lot of my brethren got really, got, okay, you know, I took the test and I failed, you know, and I never failed in anything like that important before. And that was kind of shameful for me, you know, so I lied. And I said that I passed, but I'm not going to do it because I'm going another route, blah, 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 blah. You know, but the other route was really the right route, you know, because I had ROTC training. So I was going to say, you know, go to the military through, you know, getting my degree in college, and then going into officer training corps, and then going into the military as an officer. So that's the great idea, right? You know, so when I took a step back from college, because it was kind of too expensive for me, so I had to kind of take a break to regroup and go back, right? In that regrouping, you know, I started dabbing into, well, I needed transportation, so me and my best friend got into motorcycles, you know, and now you're talking about the world now in the 80s where, you know, everybody was really into fashion, and, you know, materialism was big. You know, I was a break dancer. I was into that. I was into modern dance and this type. I was on the stage, my lord. It was a kind of like, you know, the star of the island, you know. As a matter of fact, you folks in New York, you know, and now that the Olympics is now bringing up, you know, breakdancing as part of their sport, you know, entourage or how you call it, you know. We were the first breakdancers in the Virgin Islands to really go into New York and beat them, you know, the ones that created the, you know. So that was a great, you know, experience, you know, that working as a team, you know, really, and we were diverse too, you know. You know, we had a white boy that was Kenny. Yeah, that was my bridge. You know, that you know, we went from riding bicycle all over the island to riding motorcycle all over the island. And the dream was to ride in the US from one end to the next. That never happened, you know. But this is the thing here, Majesty. What I'm getting at is that being from that world, the Gentile world, right? Because that's what it is, right? You know, it's like the world of the Gentile. There's only two folks upon the face of the earth, you know? You either the Jews or the Gentiles. You either of Christ or not, you know? You either black or you're white, which is positive or negatives, up or down. You know? They're not in between, right? You know, we have to get these things clear right off the bat. So now when we came to see this light, you know, this motorcycle here now, my put me on a different level now, because now we started our dream on the island, and that dream now started with me saying that I was going to learn this new machine, you know, on these little roads. And I'm gonna tell you, my lad, we did so well, you know, on those machines and the road that, you know, for a minute there, I thought I had some kind of career. I could go abroad and maybe run this thing, you know, and we were really crazy with it, my brethren. We were really crazy with these motorcycles. You know, they used to call them crotch rockets. The first one of them that came out, they called the Hurricanes. You know, after a while, they had to change the names because folks were dying, being maimed because of the crash that they were getting. You know, they call them CBR now, I think. You know, but me and my buddy was parting away, right? And this is a 3-day process, Majesty. You know, the first day, the brethren, you know, sold his bike. You know, he put it on the newspaper. I think it was the previous Friday, you know. And the Monday, he got a hit, man. You know, a brethren came, but the brethren came and thought he was gonna buy my motorcycle. You know, now mind you, we had decided to break apart. We're trying to, you know, create a art type of studio vibes we're thinking about doing, right? You know, and I'm working at the local printery, you know, and we're trying to see how we could work this. I don't know what happened, you know. He wanted to go his way, go mine. I says, okay, all right. You know, so now he sells his bike, but the brethren thought of he was gonna buy mine because mine was prettier, right? You know, so I think he got $5,000 for his bike, and that was like $500 less than what he bought it for. So I was like, what? So I could get the same thing because he wanted mine anyway. So now I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? Leave the ad on the paper. I'm gonna sell mine too, right? So now that's already decided, you know, King. Mind you, walk with me, right? Okay. First day he said get it sold. Now the second day, this is the Monday. The Tuesday now, you know, back home from a hard day's work, whatever, you know, we're chilling out, you know, smoking, not a chalice. Should have been, you know. And but it was Herb, always been Herb, you know. Maybe chasing it with a Heineken. It was crazy. You know them days, you know, of them days of So pass out on the couch. Get a vision that I'm going around a corner on the bike and fall. Jump out of the vision. My brethren look at me and he said, wow, what happened to you, man? You got a nightmare. I said, Kenny, I just fall off the bike. Live. All right. That kind of freaked me out a little bit, right? Now, this is the Tuesday, all right? Now, the Wednesday, same thing, but now, the Wednesday, we get news that a brethren of ours who has the same kind of motorcycle just busted through a horse going at 110 miles an hour and split the horse in two. Now we're crazy guys. We are accustomed to going in those same type of roads, doing that same type of speed all the time, you see? So for that to happen, that now freaked me out even more, because now I'm thinking spiritual now for the first time in my life, you know, because I've taken all of these things and religious and I kind of thing for granted because I wasn't brought up religious. I was brought up to respect my elders, respect everyone, grow up in love, protect and serve and do good, you know? And, you know, I was my little mischievous self like everybody else that deserve a cuff to or two, you know? So, yes, but it wasn't like evil like that. See, it was like, you know, yeah, we growing up under this, you know, and we looking to do good. My lad, the next day, I tell my brethren, because when we went to see our brethren, Our brethren had 2 broken wrists and road rash only. And I was freaking out going to see this brethren because there is no way that I saw this vision and this thing happened and this is not real. Like, what's going on? My own brethren had to stop me from freaking out because they've never seen me like this before, right? I'm the leader of the pack, right? I'm the star, super, whatever. And now I'm freaking out. My brethren, the Most High told me not to go on the motorcycle. And the next day, I told my brethren, I'm gonna walk to work. Brethren, we never see each other freaking out. You know, that's something that doesn't happen amongst us. You know, we always encourage each other. You know, we've been in fights, we've been in all type of brawls and things. And, you know, it's like, no, man, to see one of our boys cow, I know that kind of freak out my brethren, you see me? And in doing that, you know, he was like, nah, no, you can't do that. Come, I got to get to work. We got to go. You're going to break out of this here. You see? So I'm like, the boost of the ego now. Okay, now. I gone now and I turning on the motorcycle now. I'm talking to it. You ain't going to show me off, right? You ain't going to show me off. My lord, look. You know, I had an opportunity again because we got to work and everything. I had an opportunity to meet that same day now. At 12 o'clock, I had an opportunity to meet with a client to do some type of design. And the Most High told me, ask for your cousin's car and take her car instead of the bike. My ego already done boost up because I done out of the cow thing because I don't cow, right? I taking a bike, everything's safe, I'm gonna be all right. Gone on the bike, my lord, the meeting didn't happen. I was upset coming back because the meeting didn't happen. And twice I got once because I didn't have my helmet on properly. And I got shake while riding the bike, coming back in. A wind gusted me up. And I was like, what? Because I'm trying to set my helmet while riding with one hand. Madness. Children, don't do it. Don't, please. Settle yourself before you do anything remotely dangerous. Skateboarding. Make sure you have your pads and everything. Please, don't. Okay? So, shake me up, my lad. Going up the road, shaking. I stopped by a light, put it on properly. I said, brethren, chill out, man. You're going to be all right. Stop freaking out. Talking to myself now. Going up the road. Passing these areas, this area called Majorette Headquarters. Everybody who in St. Croix is going to know this. Going up towards this corner called Constitution Hill. There is a corner, right? T, 90 degree, right? Right at the T, there's a set of garbage cans, right? I'm trying to get to work. There's a couple cars, they're going so slow. I'm like, I got a crotch rocket. I go around the cars and I bolt the stretch. The stretch is about a good, I don't know, quarter mile plus, a little bit maybe. I'm bolting down the stretch now, my lord. For some reason, I start thinking about my brethren in the hospital. Kind of madness is that, children, when you're on a motorcycle or anything that requires your full concentration, please, don't think about nothing else, okay? Not good, especially when you're doing something that requires 100% concentration. All right, let's go. Coming back on this bike now, my God. Coming up to this corner now. After I'm thinking all this thing, past these cars, coming up to this corner, I'm seeing that I'm coming too fast for this 90-degree turn. I'm starting to downshift now. Anybody who knows about motorcycles, you know that's one of the best ways to slow down your bike if you're going too fast. Down gear, hold brakes lightly. I'm coming up to the corner now. The Most High told me, go straight ahead, hit the garbage cans, fly over the garbage cans, you're gonna be all right. Now, my Lord, when I was young, I used to do this nonsense with the carts them from the grocery stores. You know, boys used to run them, man used to stand, boom, and hit something, you fly over like, madness. But yes, we used to do that, right?
Yeah.
My Lord, the ego said, my Lord, you could take that corner. He ain't saying, my Lord. He said, listen, you can take that corner, you know. Use a corners, man. You can make it too, man. You don't need to mash up nothing and cut you nothing. I said, yeah, man, I could take that corner. I done be ego up from the jump, you know. So it ain't a easy, it ain't a hard car for me to make, right? I done show the angel that been saying, hit the guy, hit that, do the crazy thing. Do the stuntman thing. I done show here first. I taking this corner and I gonna make it home back. All right. No, my lad. I went to take that corner and some dust that was in the middle hit. The bike went this way. My whole right side went that way. And it was horrible. You know, the motorcycle hit the car that was coming from the other side because I saw cars coming from the other side, you know. But I thought that if I took it wide and came in, that I would be able to come in tight enough to miss that car for sure. No, my lord. This is the madness of the ego. You know, in times like these, you see, without experience, you're gonna be, you're gonna have some judgment.
But hear me now, yeah. I'm glad you take the time how you explain it too, because now you come to the crash part of it, I could see the whole pattern of how you lay down and the calling that you get and the warning and I could imagine the results after that. But even in the interest of time, fast forward for me how you kind of, without dropping out all the important jewels, to some of them key points and them letters and so from King Emmanuel, you know, in the interest of time too. I can see you get the calling somewhere around there. That sounds like the calling point, like, okay, some have to do differently.
Well, my lad, I'm gonna tell you something. Give thanks for that because I need them
remember I'm an hour ahead of you to go into the Sabbath.
That's right, my lad.
But everything's blessed. Everything we good still, eh? But good,
worthy. I love it, my lad. Keep me in time like that, my lad, because that's what I need. Time management. You know, my Empress tell me about that too, you know. So I'm glad I have the other half, Queen Omega meditation going, you know. So give thanks, man.
No, but I purposely free up the energy, man, because I see you getting somewhere. Yeah, man, it was well said, man. It was well said. I get it clear. So as I said, obviously that's the moment of, all right,
enlightenment.
Right.
That is the moment of, you know, like, yeah, like, you know, but you see, there's the thing, you know.
And you even answered the question I had there, you know, because I wasn't sure if it was St. Thomas or St. Croix, but you actually answered it when you were talking about Constitution Hill and all of that. So, okay, so it's St. Croix. So
yeah, because St. Croix, yeah, that's my birthplace, you know. Right. Yeah.
But good, you know, as I said,
fast forward still.
Yeah, up to especially that letter part there. That's actually we're ready to hear. So however you
that is important because you see, my lad, from that point there, you see, because you just
that's 1980, right? 1980, all of this.
1988. Yeah, 1988, August 27th, July 27th, July 27th, 1988. Yes, my lad. 1988. You know, right. Now, now this is the thing. 1988. Yes, that was a calling. You know, now, so my lad, the events them that happened within my recuperation, right, is what I'm getting at. You see, because I made a promise, you know, while I was in the hospital bed. You see, because in St. Croix they wanted to take out my kneecap, you see, and whatnot. And in Puerto Rico, they didn't. So I flew to Puerto Rico. And while there, my lad, you know, I made a promise that, God, if you don't take my arm and my leg, I promise to seek your face. You see, that's Psalms 27. I didn't know about that. I wasn't raised with the Bible now, remember. So now, getting back now, all right? All of that, the Most High put me together in such a way because he tell me, well, you could ball in a vision, like this bright figure, brethren. I couldn't even tell whether you was black or white, my lad. All I know it was bright, you see? And it tell me, why you could ball you. You know what? I'm not going to take your arm and I'm not going to take your leg, and I'm going to see what you're going to do for me. This is very important, all right? Now, my lad, when that happened, right? A year after all this trauma, I was working for the local telephone company as a linesman. That's a construction job as a linesman. Now I'm supposed to be crippled because I had a broken arm, shattered kneecap, broken leg, broken collarbone, damaged nerves, concussion, because if that helmet wasn't on, my head would have been all over the street. You see, I wouldn't have been speaking to you. So all of this thing is important and key. You see, for once to understand that I didn't come to this here as Rastafari. I didn't, this was a calling. That, the calling went through a 4-year process, you see, because from linesman to install repair to engineering in the same company, I then decided to quit my job and seek for God when I found out my Empress then was pregnant with my first child. And me being a father from the beginning, when I said I wanted to be a father, I wanted to make sure that my children and my family is going to find and follow the right God, you see, because that was my calling. That was the calling. So that was 4 years after the original calling, 1992. You see, my Lord, I left the job for 6 months. I searched out that if God was in the Catholic Church, I would be a Catholic priest. See, my Lord, point blank. You see, it didn't happen. So when I finished my search for 6 months, for the first time in my life prior, let me just rewind a little bit. Before
it was no African thing you were on.
No, Bobo Shanti. This was a search for in general. This was a general search. Yeah, my lad.
The ganja vibes and the reggae influence in you and
my lad, no reggae, no, my lad, because you know, we already got the negative, we already got that shield out, you know, Rastaman bringing no God to me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm on the search, you see, but now watch now, I'm on the search for a natural man. So now the thing about it is when I stop doing certain things like combing my hair and things like that, I see that I lack up. And I say, so I'm watching the Rastaman a little bit more closer now. But I'm not including him in the whole mix of it, but I'm seeing is a natural man, and I'm saying, okay, but then I start the search. I put all the spiritual churches, that talking about death to see God thing, and that aside. And so I have the Islam, Muslim, I have the 5%ers, I have all these Islam nations that talking about God in flesh now, you see? But none of them making sense to the point that, you know, and then the group that I'm with right now kind of ain't getting an understanding of the word, you know. Which so they're taking like the cussing and thing, I saw they taking that there for granted. So then I had to leave that there. So now I'm going back to work, my lad, because now for the first time, my lad, just rewinding a little bit, my supervisor gave me the word sabbatical. I never heard of the word sabbatical before. I might have heard it, but never put it to context. It's kind of them kind of ways. See what I'm saying? For the first time, the man told me take a sabbatical and don't quit the job. So I did that, took the 6 months sabbatical. At my returning, because I couldn't find no spirit, I said, you know what, my conclusion, my Lord, as God is my witness, my Lord, my conclusion was, God must be within me. I just going back to work and let it be where it's gonna be, you know. And my ex-Empress, you know, first, you know, she probably was very happy and probably made some calls and tell people, oh my God, you're going back to work, la, 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 la. And my lad, as I was leaving that Sabbath day, you know, I went down the road to get a little blessing, and I met, you know, King Emmanuel representative, you know, high priest, you know, of the order of Melchizedek. And that's how I first came to this. And this was in November of 1992.
Who was his representative? May I ask?
The representative, the Honorable Priest Eric, at the time was the Honorable Priest Eric Miller.
True, give thanks to the Honorable Priest Eric who every day the earth.
Now no longer Honorable Priest, but you know, that will come in time, you know. Nevertheless, you know, I went into the development. you know, and
shots fired there, but-
well, you know, my lad, is about you know, the reality is this, that come into this order, because it was important that I met the brethren, you know, because my lad gave me an assignment, you know, and the assignment was to do 12 paintings, you know, and to put around a clock, you know, and it was just whole mystical how I came to the fullness, because they were just, he had just asked for artists, and I had shown up right at the time when he desired the artist, you know. So it was a whole God moment, my lad. I never heard the word blessed. I never heard the word Sabbath in a way that in a liberty. I never heard the word blessed in a way that how we use blessed in the Spanish language, right? In the Hispanic culture, we say bendición, right? Bendición, when we see our elders, we say bendición. And they say, God bless you, God keep you, you know, God protect you, right? And that's like asking for blessing. In the Rastafari culture, we give the blessing. Oh, blessed art the Lord, oh, glorious and my God. That was amazing to me. So I'm already gripped. Once I saw what this was about, that was it. I got my assignment. The Trinity was my first painting because it was a donation to go unto the house of the Lord. It was supposed to be hung in the tabernacle of the Lord. The Honorable Priest Adib, who was one of the elders also there, he was about to travel to the hill, and we all gave him letters for the king, you know, and I was very anxious because I was very happy, you know, that I had found him, right? And I sent him my letter, and he wrote me back, you know, my letter, you know, and this is where we come in, my lad, because that letter there had the principle, laws, and commandments.
So hold on, so wait, let me get this good. So time frame 1992.
1992.
Okay, so that means you haven't been. So your boss tell you go and take a sabbatical. You take a 6 months. Somewhere in the midst of that 6 months, you run into the Honorable Priest Eric. You had to paint.
At the end of the 6 months. At the end of the 6 months,
okay, just before. So just before the time for the sabbatical to come to an end. But wait, what I got in here now is that so the portrait went to the hill.
No. Never made it to the hill.
I never. Okay.
A picture of the portrait made it to the hill.
But your letter made it to the hill.
My letter made it to the hill, yes.
And King Emmanuel himself sent back a direct letter to the eye personally.
I would say it was a dictated letter. I wouldn't say it was by his hand, but yes, my lad, it was an official.
Definitely dictated. Letter. We don't know John Ago really, and we don't know he go. But true, take it from there. Yep. Yeah, man, Jah write it still anyway, turn it.
Of course, my lad. Because we're all Jah. You see, we're all members of his goodie. So give thanks. That's what I hear. So yes. So in now receiving that letter, I received that letter, you know, oh my gosh, that was in August. I received the letter.
92.
Yes, 90, actually, sorry, no. This was the following year. In 92, in November of 92 is when I came. 93 now.
Okay.
You see, is when I got, in August of 93, is when the father sent me the letter. And this was August 18th, 93, 94 is when I got, this letter. And it was, it was brought, it was sent, it was brought forward. I think it came through the mail. Yeah, it came through the mail. I think it came through the mail, but mine was hand delivered. So the king made mention of it, and I think I read it in my testimonial on the YouTube channel. For ones that want to hear the testimonial, they can go to the YouTube channel and see it. Ras Moambeh, be Acosta, And so I don't know if time permits for me to read the letter quickly. I don't know.
Yeah, man, give us that letter there. So okay. The YouTube channel is Ras Moambeh.
Yes, my lad. Ras Moambeh. Yeah, Ras Moambeh.
Moambeh.
Yeah, Moambeh. Like, yeah, Moambeh as in Moambasa, Moambeh, Moambesa, Moambeh. Yeah. Now Moham I don't see one that wants in the ham business.
Yeah,
It's all right, but
yes, forgive us.
But I give thanks.
Moambeh. Okay.
True. So I could read the letter to you.
Yes, my lord. They are here. That is what you're here for. Yeah? Not that way, but do your thing.
Well, okay. Well, you see, so now this is, my lord. So the letter, begins with the conquering lion shall break every chain. I will, read in the headlines, the letterhead, right?
The audience.
Differently, my lord, yes. It reads, for the Honorable Prophet Moambeh Acosta, St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. Blessed love, my lord. Give thanks for life and the black life giver who liveth in all people, great God, Jehovah, Jah, Rastafari. Come in, my little ones, come into my father's house, Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. I have received your letter hand-delivered by Honorable Priest Adib. I am pleased to receive your letter and to know that you are seeking truths and rights which can only be found in the Black Christ salvation. I have enclosed pamphlets that are available for your upliftment. Also, I send my heart of love to you and your family, your Empress and children, born and unborn. Continue to communicate until further words. I close with one love. On love hangs all the laws and commandments of the prophets. I am the Most Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edward, Brother Moses, the Lord's servant, Black Christ in flesh, I-N-R-I, Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Sign and seal, and
wonderful.
This is
yeah, man. Thanks, man. That's my book. That's a great honor. I mean,
my Lord, yes, it was, and my Lord, I was so young into the culture at the time, and I was such under such pressure, young, very young in the culture, my Lord, young to the 10th power, because when you're young, you don't know nothing about the culture at all. I didn't know nothing about the Rasta culture at all, my Lord. You have to understand this. So the kind of respect and the kind of honor that I came giving, man, was to the levels that you give a high priest in a high level,
I get
so
you.
This is how I humble myself to this fullness. You see, now, my family has never seen me like this. My brethren have never seen me like this. The type of use me, Lord. Use me for thy glory. The type of use me, Lord, works that I engaged in, damage my truck and stuff like that. Things that I had to do myself, because of course, certain, it wasn't the help,
Let me come there. Before you go too far, what you're going to say when I received the letter?
The letter.
Good.
Yeah, because this is the thing. I gotta get back to that. I know you're catching me on that.
It is, give thanks.
My Lord, when I received the letter now, and I got this document, Bobo, when I read this document, I was so amazed because this was the principal laws and commandments. Now, Majesty,
the pamphlets that he sent. Pamphlets.
Yes, my Lord, the pamphlets that he said was for my upliftments. Now, this is so casually said, my Lord. This was so casually said that when that was said to me, you have to understand me, I'm a team man now. I'm a team player. I worked with team before. I'm very good at, I've won competition with team. I know what a team is about. So I know what's going to uplift a team. So when I got this and it said for my upliftment, I said, whoa, my upliftment is my team. I thought my team as being all my Bobo brethren them at the time. Wrong move. That was a wrong move. That was a very newbie move, you see, because that move there wasn't supposed to happen. How did I know? At the time, pamphlets were moving around, ones were giving pamphlets here and there. So I thought it was a thing, you get pamphlets, you might copies, you give it to a one. So I was rolling into the floor, so now when I get this pamphlets now, I was like, what? But now, at a very important meeting, it was announced that was a very important document, and that document never left the camp. This was the first time that that document ever been, you know, brought out, you know, into the wall. And that if those documents is found anywhere on the floor, discarded anywhere, there'd be a judgment, and I can't remember the rest. I can't remember. All I know is that I was astonished because I was the one that did that, and I was doing it kind of like, to this day, I never got a clearance, my lord. You see?
Fine. I was just saying, what I was going to say is that the letter itself, maybe because of experience, I expected it to be a little longer. So it was just a quick message like, hey, yeah, man, give thanks to the link. Very precise. We got your letter, and they tell you exactly who give it. I mean, that you could see as a military man, you could see how the militancy of how the father thing worked too. Accountability, exactly who give you the letter. I said, wow, hear that. And as I said, this is for your upliftment, for you and your family. But now, what I would ask on a journalistic level, so what do you think as it relates to that level and the branch in the Virgin Islands? What foundation you think that level has as it relates to the Virgin Islands? Because you spoke to me about this prior, and I'm sure there's more I would need to know too.
Honorable, I'm gonna be directly.
If I ask the question correctly too, if not, you can shape it up for me.
Well, Honorable, I'm just going to lay it down like this. You know, my understanding was that there were 3 of these letters sent out. You know, one was to the Bahamas, one was to the Virgin Islands, and one was to Trinidad and Tobago. You know, and the purpose of this letter was to establish branches to bring the word out to a wider population of our brothers and sisters in captivity. You know, now at the time, I was not thinking like that. I had thrown away the militant meditation of before, and I put myself in a militant meditation of this, but then I was, you see, remember, I was in the channels of what was being done. If I've got pamphlets, the upliftment, I pass the time. See, that was my mistake. You see, as
mistake.
Yeah, man, it was a mistake, my lad.
Well,
because,
you explain. You tell me.
Yeah, because when I think about it, after years, you know, of going through this, I could see how, because the document was such an important document, you know, if I was in a more militant meditation, you know, if I was more focused as a militant man, I would see that, whoa, this is important. Maybe I should take a copy for myself and go ahead and take it to the leading priest and see what he thought about it before I went ahead and shared it with anybody else. You see, so in that sense, my lad, I feel I broke protocol without knowing, you see, the sense of protocol. And because of the importance of this job, the importance of what this Congress represents to our people, the importance of what it represents to humanity, the slightest mistake in judgment would cause the whole structure to not be built correctly. You know.
Okay, wait. Let me just ask quickly. So wasn't it a personal? I mean, we know individualism is Satanism, you know, but still, wasn't it a personal letter to you in your name? How you read it, it was addressed to you, you know, like it's your letter. Not that maybe you shouldn't share it with the congregation, but it's your letter. I think it was nobody else. But that's what I was gathering. Now, you can tell me if I was. No, and you said there were 3 other letters. I'd assume you speak, when you say Bahamas, I believe you speak of Ambassador Whitman. And Trinidad, that would be Honorable Priest Imesley.
Yes, well, the Honorable Priest Imesley did, but at the time it was the Honorable Priest Blyden that received that letter, you know, that received that, and yes, and I think, because I think it was the Honorable Priest Blyden also.
Yeah, it's true enough. Priest Blyden do tell me, okay, no, you actually put something together there for me, man. Okay, it's true.
Truly, man, truly. You know, so it was actually the Honorable Priest Blyden that gave me all these clearances, because until 2008, I didn't know any of this. You know, I was always in the dark about what all this meant. you know. So, my lord, I never got taught the order from in St. Croix or from in the camp, you know. The order was taught to me by a brethren that I met, that the Most High sent I in Virginia, and we worked together, and, you know, he went to the camp, he came back, he taught me the order, and he's now back in Virginia, you know, building himself and his family and, you know, doing the same thing the Father has put us to do, you know. So love is what's missing, Honorable, you know, the love of someone making a mistake and Allah coming and saying, Bobo, you know, you should have do it this way, you know, and, but that's good, you know, but let's tell everybody bring in their copies, you know. Hey, everybody bring in our copies. Let's sit down and see what this is really about, you know, and let's study it like that, you know. What got missing in all of our development, my lord, I think, is the point of education. You know,
I'm a bit lost too, you know. Don't feel away. I trying to draw a picture. Maybe I'm missing something. So at this time, St. Croix didn't have, St. Croix didn't have, Virgin Islands didn't have a camp at that time?
Yeah, man, my lord. At that time, we had several brethren moving through. The thing about it is that it was
just brethren, you know, like a branch, an official branch, tabernacle and so.
Well, you see, we had enough members to create that branch, you see, and that's why I know the Most High gave us, you know, that authority, you know, with that letter, because he saw that we had a core that could bring something. Now, mind you, you know, my lad, the Virgin Islands is a strategic, you know, move for the general, because it is directly connected to the mainland United States, and it is one of the only Black-run governments within the U.S. territories. So when you have this type of connection, you know, and right now, the chaos that is happening in the Virgin Islands with the youth them is like one's afraid to go out at night. That's ridiculous. I've never heard of that. My lad, in my era, we was breakdancing, you know, to get our disputes out. I mean, this is what I'm saying. And now it's chaos. So that was done strategically so that our youths could be kept in this kind of dummy down, you know, self-hate meditation, and we can continue in this hate kind of cycle that we've been putting within the system. The only way out of it is through education. The only education is King Emmanuel education. I don't understand what man's saying about we can't do no greater works. I don't understand that, you know, because King Emmanuel, when he passed on, when he ascended, when he moved through, when he fulfilled prophecy, when he dropped his robe of flesh, you know, and took another level of understanding, my lord, because you was touching some serious things, you know, my lord, within the spiritual realms and, you know, the realms of the stars, and all of that is a unit, you know. So anyway, time, right? The reality is this, yeah, man. If we don't see that King Emmanuel lessons of not only Psalms reading, the whole choir practice meditation, the whole way that he even set up the governmental aspect is like 5 branch he set up, you know. Now, the way that he set it up too, my lad, I have letters that he set up in 92, 93, which is around the same time that I left my job. And when I got this letter and I see this pamphlet and I read the instructions that he gave for Ones and Ones 13-member committee that he was sending to Ethiopia, and the type of instruction that he sent, my lord, man, that's setting up choir practice, setting up band practice, you know, setting up Psalms reading, doing the service order, and building, you know, with all the industrial development. Broom industry, my lord, we should have had that pushing around the wall right now at a development that, you know, it would tie, you know, brethren with the highest suits and some pushing brooms, you know, at that level where we have a building, you know, industrial building, pushing brooms. And then that's only one aspect of the zillions of aspects of industrial, you know, capability that we have. So now here it is, my lad, to see the only key that we have yet to apply, still missing, and to hear ones doing and taking different routes, and it's kind of like we should be ashamed of ourselves, really and truly, for what the king have set up, you know, and for it to not be set up in a way that is brilliant. Every single building on that hill is to get renovated. And that is you're talking about construction talk here. You know, renovated in a way that it can be, you know, put up or put down, or left if you want to leave a memorial, because
real government, you know, outside all the houses, you have guardhouse, you have kitchen, you have guest house,
international
you have food house, you have international broom field, you have international office, you have conference room. You don't go into nobody gates yet, you know. You have the father palace. Real government, man, as a talking infrastructure there. But since you mentioned that, because I still trying to draw a timeline, because when I was in St. Croix that time, that previous time, which is quite a while now, that's I'll have to judge that for my daughter. That's a while ago, man. That's like maybe 12 years ago.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, that's a good while ago, man. I was taken to the area where the camp was set up. You know,
where the first tabernacle was?
I'm not sure if it's the first, but I can't remember who carried me there. It's either the Honorable Priest Eric, it was actually, I think it was Vaughn, you know, Vaughn Benjamin. I think he carried me there, you know, to show me where it was. So I have this vivid memory of the red, gold, and green buildings, and like it was overgrown with bushes, you know, like, yeah, it definitely was. But why I'm bringing that up, I'm asking really, so you're advocating for the revival?
My lord, that is necessary, man, my lord. I'm not only advocating for the revival, my lord. I am demanding that our elders come together and restructure what the king put in place. Just restructure the thing, just put the thing back in place the way it's supposed to be. But the thing about it is, because we have so many members and so much things have happened, you know, we must put our constitution into work. You know, so that means that all the members that come in will have to go through some type of cleansing amongst ourselves, you know, and until we can sit down and honestly see one another face to face, you know, and really reason, you know, to the understanding of the things that happen, you know, and really understand why it is that the things that you did affected this thing that caused this thing to happen. You see, this is what we're not really putting into perspective. You know, we're not taking responsibility and accountability for the offices that the Father gave us to manifest. I don't understand. You see what I'm saying, my lord? Because every man is supposed to manifest a work within them own self first. You know, that means that within 1 Timothy chapter 3 stand, and that's, my lord, governmentally. You see, before you look to take any office within this government, you have to make sure that your home is in order. As a matter of fact, my lord, the reason why I did not go to the camp when the king sent me that letter and I received that was because I was going, but I got a word because I felt in myself that my house wasn't in order. You see, and really and truly it was, you know. I mean, I could have taken a little break and they would have, you know, but to my ego, because I'm still fighting this, my lad. This is not, you don't just get rid of your ego like this, my lad.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying? So then I was like, nah, you know what? The priest said that, you know, you have to take care of your household first before you go anywhere. So you know what? I'll take care of my household. My lad, I got a word that if I would have came to the camp, that I would have made me a priest, which then I would have been able to bring home the order right, and we would have been able to manifest it the way it's supposed to manifest. Because, my lad, the thing about what happened home was it wasn't manifested the way it's supposed to be manifested. You see, it wasn't manifested the orderly way, you know, and it didn't have the kind of compassion and love and you know, the type of, you know, just you know, understanding, right? That ones and ones coming from a wall of sin, you know, and they're coming from getting the pressures from the families. So why would you want to add pressure to that as well, you know. So at first I thought I was being hazed, you know, but then I realized that I think the letter kind of changed things, you know. It kind of said, well, oh, Jah favor him over her,
Okay.
and it kind of caused, I don't know, a rift, you see, which have caused a whole spiral of things.
No, you say that, you know, let me just jump in. Let me jump a little bit in there. Because several of you sent letters.
Yes, man.
You alone get back a response.
No, I wasn't the only one. Everybody got letters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, everybody that was there at the time sent a letter with the Honorable Priest Adib, and we all got response. Several responses.
Okay.
You know,
so something about your response stand out?
And my Lord, my response had the principle, laws, and commandments.
Okay, I get you, man. But no, you have to make it. No, it's not.
Nobody
honestly,
else. No, you see
as man is now picking up that problem.
Letter had this. You see. Right. So now the thing was, why did Jah
that's what you call
me for me to get this?
That's what you call intrepid journalism, eh? So don't feel like. Go ahead.
Intrepid journalism. Good for you, man.
But
you know, that's the reality we, you know, we trying to understand what it is what's happening, because at this point, my Lord, I'm still a newbie. I don't know what's going on. You know?
Months.
So, and of course now I'm seeing now that ones now are being turned against me, which then prompt me to write the general another letter, you know, concerning what was going on. And then I received a letter in return, but that letter was not stamped, you know, and even though the response was a powerful enough response to make me feel confident that, you know what, I will never leave this, you see.
So you wrote back and got a next letter again?
Yeah, man, I got a next letter from the general. It's just that it wasn't stamped, you know, and I mean, I don't know if time permits, you know.
Yeah, man, drop that one, not drop it, but please read that one for me, please.
I feel them. You're good. I love you.
I hear you.
My lad, so this is for time reason, right? This is to the Honorable Prophet Beno now, because I address myself as Beno.
Yeah, man.
Moambeh Acosta, because now, yeah, you know, box 100 St. Christ. Yes, my lord. You know, so blessed love, my lord. Give thanks for life and our mighty life giver, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, Jah Rastafari. Give thanks for receiving your letter dated 16/12/93. Give thanks for all words of upliftment, and I hope these few words of utterance reaches you and all ones in the best health and righteousness of salvation. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, Jah Rastafari. They that trust in the Lord shall be as Mount Zion, which cannot be removed, but abideth forever. As the mountains are round about Jerusalem, so is the Lord round about his people, from henceforth, even forever. Freedom, redemption, and international repatriation is a must. Through one man, voice, and power. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, Jah Rastafari. All guidance and love until further contact is made. I close with 7 words of love. God is love. Let us all love. I am the most right honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edward, the Black Christ in flesh, the Lord Sovereign, crown champion of human rights, human justice. I Negus rule Israelites. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, Jah.
Rastafari. Clear words.
But this
clear
one,
words.
yeah, obvious. That's different.
True. Yeah.
Right.
Clear words and give thanks for such, yeah, man. Oh. But let me ask you still, even as future going forward, are you you're part of the parliamentary gathering that is now established? I understand that a lot of good works are going out within the reunification of Bobo Shanti internationally. The parliament itself. Are you a part of that?
I have not been contacted, my lord, concerning anything that they are doing. You know, I have not been contacted. No. So no, I'm not a part of that.
Fair enough.
And yeah.
No, fair enough.
I've reached out, you know, and I've never got invited, you know, because I don't understand why. But if we're not going to focus on the foundation of our Father, you know, it is very difficult to see how we're going to be able to represent that example in the motherland, you know, because we must dance a yard before we go abroad, right? Everything that we do in the motherland, we must first do out here. Our brothers and sisters are suffering out here. Right now, we have been ministered to an Honorable Empress in prison that's been there on a life sentence, Honorable Empress Belcher, you know, and she just now got her degree in social work that she spent 17 years getting, you know. She needs to be freed, you know. She's spending a life sentence for murder of captives that had her pimping, you know. So this is the type of mentality that our brothers and sisters are in out here, the mentalities of the captives that they gave us through slavery. You see, our brothers and sisters are growing up out here without roots. You see, they're trees without roots, so they go to prisons. You see, we don't have the order within their community, so they are not seeing it. You know, we're not pushing it. You see, so where are all those offices doing it? Because that is what the king showed us to do. We're supposed to be sending ones and ones with delegation. So that means that the camp's supposed to be receiving flesh recruits coming in consistently from these different places to strengthen the infrastructure. You know, why aren't we doing that? If the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Yeah, we don't want to build up Jamaica. We're not building up Jamaica. We're building our infrastructure, and it just happened to be in Jamaica. You see, you know, so the thing, I mean, the thing is my lad, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. If we don't work with the mercy that the Lord has given us and stop being dogmatic, you know, about the fulfillment of a practical work, the spiritual work, you can't put down this thing, my lad. You can't say that this thing is, you cannot down talk anything that King Emmanuel said, my lad. King Emmanuel is the Almighty God. He come and he said things, and the way he said things, there is a reason and a purpose and a way that it should supposed to work. And the thing's supposed to work whereby when it touch someone, it lighten them up and it bring them in. It's not supposed to chase them out. You see, how are we chasing? When I find out the whole thing, my lad, is just a disbalance, you know? And when it come, my lad, I'm a problem solver. My lad, from youth, I always been a one that been always like, you know, fixing things, always trying to fix things. You know, if you can't do it, I'm gonna see how I can help you do it. That's always been my thing, my lad. So now here it is. As a problem solver, I see the problem, you see. But when I see the hold on, my lad, St. Croix could have been skipping and hopping, you know, man. When I hear a man speak about me being another nation, and then how I see and saw ones and ones holding ones and ones down, that is different nations in something where all nations supposed to come in is a mix. And the thing about it is, Jah already told us these things was going to happen. Romans 11 shows us one's going to be jealous. And then here you come and see ones and ones actually acting jealous, seeing other races coming and speaking far right and blessing and sent. My lad, look, man, if the message is sent in Chinese, we should be happy. We should be glorifying. My God, we got Chinese congregation. Bring it in, you know, Chinese priests, yes, you know. Let we hear it in Chinese, yes. Let we hear it in Arab. Let we hear it in every language, my lad. I mean, I want to know, wait, isn't it supposed to go 4 wings of earth? Then it's like every vine under their own vine and fig tree. What are you telling me? That they're supposed to go under their own vine and fig tree without the salvation? No, I don't see that. I see us all as a whole world coming to Africa, relearning ourselves, and then going back under your own vine and fig tree. You see, that makes sense to me. You see what I'm saying? I'm walking in the sensible things, my lad. When I hear you speak about the stars, Jah, I see what you're saying. It makes sense to me. When you speak about the brain, my lad, I put the brain to the test. If not, I wouldn't have been walking and talking a year after I almost dead and crashed. I was supposed to be crippled, my lad. The father said, yeah, I'm going to take your arm and I'm going to take your leg and I'll see what you're going to do for me. My lad, this is what I'm doing for the lad. Now look, COVID hit. What is COVID? Come on, man. They're trying to push something on us that we don't want to get pushed on us. And we don't have nothing to back us up. And the father give us a government, my lad. I hear somebody just saying something that we don't have a constitution. Are you kidding me right now, Majesty? Are you kidding me right now, Majesty? You know, so I'm hearing we can't do greater works. When King Emmanuel, right after he dropped flesh, you know, he gave us 2 scriptures. Why? Because we from St. Croix, we sent a 1-man delegation to the camp. Honorable Priest Adib, the same Priest Adib, my lord, that brought my letter, and we got a response back with the principal laws of commandment. We sent forward to get a word what happened to the king. When the king came back, my lord, when my lord came back, he came back with 2 scriptures, Isaiah 53 and St. John 14. My lord, we need to study them scriptures like scholars that we are. And let us see what a general telling us. And then let us take action. Because until we take action with what a general has given us to take action in, my lord, we're going to stay in this cycle of confusion. It's going to be like you have the most powerful vehicle stuck in the mud, can't go nowhere. You see, because we're stuck in mud. You know, let's get out of the mud, man. You know, let's take that judgment carpet that's full of things that we keep sweeping under, you know, and let's deal with ourselves the way we're supposed to deal with ourselves. You know, once that happens, my lord, you're going to see something, you know, because this is the only thing that we haven't done yet. You know, once on one side, they've done everything that they could do. That's not right. We have not done everything because, my lord, how it is that I could get an order from the general? The order through this unity mash up the camp. The camp is a significant place within the Virgin Islands that at the time was significant. Nobody else had the principal laws of commandment or the authority to do the work. So now, because the fullness went to the mainland and it's in Miami, then, you know, it's shut off for the Virgin Islands. We become obsolete. Come on, man. When did the Lord say we must discard anything that he has done? You know? And when did we ever say that we're not going to investigate on certain things that cause certain things to happen, you know, and not rectify them the way that a government supposed to move through in? My lord,
let me jump in.
Thanks for all moments, Majesty.
No, run away. Let me jump in.
We could go on, but we could go on, you know,
my lord. He's going on time.
Look,
okay,
the fire will go up and they're going to come and I need to use my chalice.
Yeah, maybe you should take a John. Let me give a word, you know. Take a John. Yeah, you go ahead. Let me talk a bit. Yeah. Give thanks. Well, there's a question I was going to ask you. Yeah, we're looking at the time there, Sabbath coming.
Yeah, man, drop the question, man.
You go ahead, light up, man. I give you time to light and take a proper job.
Well, unfortunately, I got a load on light. You know what I mean? I don't have it like you. You look like you got deep.
We're reaping. And we're reaping regularly.
But then again,
I don't pack the second cup. But yeah, man. Give thanks for all the reasonment and everything, man. So, Empress Rachel. Yes.
Oh, God.
Tell me. You tell me. I don't even have to ask anything. That, and for those who may not know, Empress Rachel is the Empress of the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, the mother of Jesus Emmanuel, Abuna Emmanuel, the Empress Rachel. And we saw her at the beginning of this vibration, this chalice talk, as she was giving a little, she really opened it for us. She really, you know, gave us a vibes and a meditation. So, you know what I mean? So as I said, she, at that little vibes that we were looking at, that was in New York, and that was at a ceremony there seeking for some assistance for the building of the tabernacle. Yes. So, yes, my lord.
Oh, yes, and we was very pleased to send her, you know, T-shirts at the time that she had for sale, and pins and buttons from the House of Boba, because we couldn't make it.
Right.
You know, we met in 2005 at a royal celebration in Baltimore, you know, where I was delighted to, you know, drum as a royal musician.
Yeah,
oh, that was
that's it.
You know, and that's a delayed reaction to, you know, that one that come like after. Yeah, give thanks, my lord.
Yeah, man, Chalice talk, man.
Well, my lad, you know, that's when Chalice talk is deep, you know. I feel, you know, I give thanks for this opportunity, you know, my lord. This is a magnificent forum that I have set, and I just have to big up the eye because I've respected the eye for a long time.
Yeah,
They have done great works, you know, so I do give thanks.
my lord.
You know, look, my lord, you were saying Empress Rachel, and when I met her in 2005, you know, we exchange. I thought I was giving her a gift. The Empress paid for it. Why, Empress serious, you know, and yeah, you know, it was a wonderful meeting, and we exchanged numbers, and from then on, you know, my lord, it was a son and mother relationship, you know, to this very day, you know, is, you know, the things that she expressed to I, you know, within this like 16 year period, you know, my lord. You know, when you hear elders, they repeat themselves, you know. I enjoyed listening to every single repeat of this Empress, every single one, you know, for all them years, you know, my lord, of listening to the Empress, you know, and moving through almost weekly, you know, we became each other's comfort, you know, as a son and a mother, you know, because I saw my father, King Emmanuel, as the light, you know, of the whole world, that unless I fulfill my part to what I made my promise, you know, my life wouldn't mean anything, you know, and the type of obstacles that we received were so darkening, and that, you know, that Empress really showed a light, you know, and really, you know, gave that strength and show that, you know, that perseverance through her own experiences, you know. And when I was able to correlate those experiences with myself, my lad, I saw that this woman is the woman in the wilderness. This woman is
Revelation 12.
because we got to understand this, because Empress Menin represent empresses in general. You see, so now if you have Empress Menin in the house of the Lord doing the general works of the Lord, and then this is Empress Menin in flesh. And then when you have the elders, Empress Menin, come on, man, she ministered to her community. So when you see the works that Empress Rachel did and the ways that the things that she went through, my lord, this woman went to prison, I think, more for King Emmanuel government than any other empress.
Talk to me now.
You know,
so quickly. You know, I heard from who priest? But someone I know that had a proper vibe tell me that when the king came on the special visit, I don't know if they ever hear this culture, that is Empress Rachel opened the gate. So I told him, I said, listen, I hear this story all the time. I never hear that part of it. And I can't remember if it's Priest Jaman or if it's Kes Westmore, but it's somebody that, you know what I mean? You know when you can take a man's word, at least, you could at least consider what he's saying. So that's why I put that to you, because I never got to come across anyone else that I could put that to say, hey, you ever hear that? That is Empress Rachel open the gate when the king come. Can remember somebody open the gate and say, well, wait, who this white man? Like, say like our one would have you and wait, who this white man?
Wasn't her.
Okay, all right.
She won't be surprised like that, you understand? You know, because this woman here, Bridget, she don't have a prejudice born in her body.
I got to clarify that.
You understand? Yeah. This goddess here, this truly is the woman in the wilderness, my lord.
Yeah, but yeah, so when you say woman,
the fight is worthy. Look, my lord, if King
when you say woman in wilderness, we talking Revelation 12.
Yeah, my Revelation 12, man, the exact one, man, my lord. So now we want to see where the family is at. Because I see in the crowns them as families, you see, you know, it got to be families, you know, because it can't be just a, you know, so and then the jewels, and then her natural name is Beryl, you see, that's one of the jewels, one of the 12 jewels. Come on, man. Her mother called her that, you know, she was born on Mother's Day. Come on. It's like, why do we keep licking down our own people? You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be uplifting our own people. And this is what I come to see from an outsider, you know, from an outside point of view, you know. This is how I come into this, you know. Like observing everything, you know, my lord. I come like from an outside point of view, and I've always kept myself on the outside, but still doing works on the inside, you see, because my thing is, Majesty, I haven't had anyone really come to me and explain to me why we're not working with headquarters to make headquarters the bright light is supposed to be. I don't understand that, you know. We're supposed to be self-reliant, self-sufficient, self-dependent. You know, the only way that hill can work is through flesh coming in. Reinforcements now appearing, victory is nigh. When reinforcements come in that are already trained, not ones that are not trained, ones that are trained, we are here training ones. You know, my lord, I've sent ones on the hill. You know, my lord, I've ministered to many ones, you know. I've ministered to many ones in South America too in the beginning of this. My lord, you set up, and we reasoned about this before, you have a video where you are very, very explicit about how other races, priests, seeing them on the altar kind of gave you you know, I'm paraphrasing, you know, kind of gave you a bad vibes. Yeah, I want to just say that. I don't know, you could fix it later on. But the thing about it is, my lad, this here, the lad clearly said, you see, if them over there, man, if they're for us, they can't be against us. And the thing is, my lad, is that it's so easy to send a delegation of priests to make sure that everything running the right way, I said the right way, so that all governments around the world could set the thing right by acknowledging our presence, right? Because when we do that, we can then create a parliament within the United Nations, a parliament of different nations, of Bobo Shanti within them nations, coming together, representative of them nation, coming together as a parliament within the United Nations, so that we can be a voice, global voice to the world, Pharaoh, as Moses, one goody we, one body, one. Remember, no matter, this is the only thing we haven't done, we haven't become one goody we. So you see, Empress Rachel represents the epitome of one goody we. Why? Because it is a man and woman kingdom. So the man come and did the work, and he said, put the woman them in front. And he put Empress Rachel, look, 2 months before he transitioned, he sent Empress Rachel on a mission. To this day, guys, second ones are trying to make it look like the Empress didn't go to that mission. So now,
which mission? Don't tell us.
We need to bring Empress Rachel went on that mission. And that mission was to IRFM. It is a simple thing to go and ask ones and ones within the IRFM meditation to get them documents and to find out and so and get the fullness. Because then we will see, by putting the empresses them in front, King Emmanuel put Empress Rachel in front. You see, because a lot of the empresses then will also testify that they come and meet Empress Rachel here.
But I see that video there. I see that video with it wasn't her and a good set of empresses.
Yes, my lord. Then yeah, okay, then that's great. Then that's great. Then that's great. But the thing is ones and ones. Same.
But as I said, she go through a lot, you know. I know I hear speak about, you know, I mean, it's from she's 16 or some age like that, she's standing with the father, you know.
My lad, for 53 years, my lad, and 20 years old. You know, 20, 16 okay, is might have been when she like seeing and hearing the Bible. Yeah, thing, but when she turned 20 and saw the Empress been holding on, you know, and this is from the Empress, you know, so differently, this, look, my love, look. Any Empress that come to God, the Almighty, you're talking about the return Christ, you know, and why he's the return Christ, because he come as the Spirit of truth. He come to bring us to remembrance of everything that man set up for us to set up ourselves, except he set it up to a higher level, you know, so it's like greater Christ, right? Greater Melchizedek, just like how Marcus come as greater, right? John the Baptist, greater Isaiah, then of course the King of Kings, you know, greater Abraham again with us. You see what I'm saying? So it is a fullness that he had to manifest. So it's like, where is greater Mary now? Greater Mary, you see? We have to then put all of this in perspective, right? What kind of fight would she get? Wouldn't be worthy of that dragon coming after the Empress? What kind of spirit would she have to have? Wouldn't it be a warrior type of spirit? Who can tame a warrior in this judgment, my lad? Who can say, how I gonna accept this here, being a man from the wall and having to change from the wall coming into this? I have to take my time into this, my lad. I wasn't bred into this, you know, but I had pieces and parts, you know, because growing up with the reggae vibes, and it was a plus being an island man, growing with all of that culture, still culture. So it's more difficult for ones in the mainland United States to get the understanding of what their salvation represents. But we now who know that transition, because we can transition. What's the key? It is love, man. Love with all your talents. Love with all your talents. and becoming Emmanuel in that talent. That means that you can then put the spiritual into perspective and you build that spiritual. That's the Alpha and Omega. So then the Empress there would be up, pedestalized. You see, because she represents our king's message to the world. You see, and not only that, but our complete centralization, because all our empresses them would be pedestalized, put in the highest of honor and glory. And that means all of we as kings have to be rocking it. That means all industries have to be rocking, because the emperors them have to be there, have the mansions them have to be shining. You know, this thing about how they look, everything needs to be how you call it?
You know, I'm with you.
Improved. You see what I'm saying? Everything needs to be improved, man. Look, man, the constitution that the king set up, you know, when we first started up, he revised it. You know, that's the king himself. The king did things that was unorthodox to the whole world. The man crowned himself with his queen, the first one ever in the history of kings. My lad, when I first heard this, right, I put a statement out and I said, anybody who find a king that crowned his queen before the king did it, I would cut my locks off.
Yeah, you don't have to go that deep.
Yeah, man, wow, man, you know, but that was it. That's how deep I had to take it, because I took, my lad, trust me, and I went into it really deep,
heavy,
you know,
heavy,
to the Googles of Googles, because you have to study something before you say something.
Heavy,
you know,
heavy vibe, heavy.
Or as you're a fool, you know what I'm saying? Because then somebody come and say, yo, then look at this, yeah. And then you gotta be like, But the thing about this is like, look, there is no.
That's heavy though. That's heavy.
Anything under the sun.
That's a serious thing there, boy. Wow.
My lad, what's a serious thing? Which one?
No, what the challenge did, it really broadened it for me. You know, like we speak of, you know, Ethiopia being the only unconquered country in Africa, but it was more than Africa is the only unconquered country in the world. I think there's one other little country somewhere in Indonesia, one of them little things that they say never lost its independence too. But still, it's a broader scope. It's not just Ethiopia in Africa, it's the world, all China, and so don't get slowed down. So
I want to touch on one point here.
No, so I say that just using that analogy to even what we were talking about a while ago with what you're saying there.
And if we cannot put the balance of the Empress and the king to
right, that's just quickly, that's what I was getting.
We're gonna keep hold on,
just quickly.
Our generations them out of course.
Hold on. That's the point I was making. And I always say that the emperor, when we say the emperor crown with the empress, somehow we keep it in an Ethiopian scope. Well, you know, you put it in an every living, check your history, do your research, dig up the artifacts, like, wow, for real, you know. Wow.
Make it happen.
Like,
bring it happen and bring it to the reality of it. Wow. But my lad, look, even if I was to, because nothing new under the sun, right? Rastafari.
True,
my lad, there's nothing new under the sun. So even if it did happen, it had to happen under the reality of God in flesh. You see what I'm saying? It couldn't be no other kingdom or no other thing bringing it. It would have to be under this here. You see? So once we bring that to remembrance, you can't go back to it. So I can't go back to thinking no other way, my lad. So the thing is, for whatever, you know, we need to set the thing, the government right and so on, and the whole world need to know about it, because to this day, you know, the UN acting like if we blind, and it's like, wait, are you kidding me? And then in this time of this COVID thing, my lad, they're pushing this thing on us, and look, our registration, you know, our government, my lad, this is the part here now that we have to understand. We need to take our government, right, to the governmental level of what is supposed to be, not only to the spiritual. The governmental aspect of it have to balance. When it comes balance, that's when we can move through, as Moses did of old, going to Pharaoh, as one goody going to the UN, one Congress going to the UN. That cannot happen if we don't settle our affairs and the Congress affairs And it's an easy thing to do. It's just that ones don't want to do it because they're afraid of the repercussions, you know. And this is the thing. Look, man, it has to happen. Everybody knows it has to happen. You know, what are the repercussions? Well, the repercussions is Parliament coming together and doing what it's supposed to do. That's the repercussion, you know? And everybody seeing that they're doing it, and everybody having everybody number and everybody identification of who it is part of Parliament, you know, like every government, and scrutinize and their families and who they are, because they have to be worthy to hold a position. As any government, you have to be worthy. Now, the Parliament has, my lord, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, my lord, the Parliament has, you see, at this time, you know, not reached out the way that internationally, I feel it would be a logical reach out, you know, as a government, you know, whereby you would use all your arms. I mean, if I'm an arm of the Most High and I'm not being used and I'm here and it seemingly look like I'm doing my own thing, that's ridiculous. How does that show unity? You know, how does that promote to our people in Africa that we are united? You know, it doesn't. So it is very important, my lords, and I'm talking to my lords in general because I've been reaching out even to the hill, you know, and the hill and some of my lords have been a fruitful vine. We've been sending strength, we've been sending flesh, and we don't even get a word back. You know, we've been sending top-ups and top-ups, and we cannot get a So you see, when you put this in perspective, right? You know, are you saying unity and everybody talking about love? What type of love are you ready to take? You see, because love don't play, you know, my lord. Love is lovely, you know, my lord. Love, as a matter of fact, love, right? Love have security, is take care of itself. It's common sense. Love is remorseful. We got to be my lord, look, I see what I did in hindsight in St. Croix. I see how that lick up. I think it would have been a different position if I would have taken this thing serious and came into it as a militant man. You know, I think it would have been a different thing. I got so softened up and so into the love thing. Boy, my lad, love is, my lad. Hey, love don't play, no. It's like anything, you know, too much of anything is not good for you. It can mash you up. If you take it the wrong way, that's how come they say some take love for weakness. That's how come it could be identified for weakness, because you could kind of intoxicate yourself so much in it that you could like dismantle yourself in a way whereby you don't understand what it does to others. And I didn't understand that. You understand?
It's not made to hurt. Yeah, it's not made to hurt. It's made to be caring. It's made to be compassionate.
It's a purifying fire. It's a fire, my lord. We cannot escape from it, you know.
No, so it can be confused. What I'm saying, it could be confused with, you know, timidness and all sorts of different things, you know. But as you say, fire can come in love. But my lord, our time is here. I'd have to give thanks for the moment, and I think we covered a lot there, you know.
Hope I see a lot of things good for you, you know, my lord.
Yeah, well, you could give a final word sound, my lord. And not a final, but a sealing of word song.
Her Majesty, look, I do give thanks to
the people that said we don't know, as they say, it's enough people listening.
My lord, give thanks for wings of earth, you know, my lord, for this King Emmanuel that cleanse us to make us come unto the King of Kings with clean hands and a pure heart, you know, so that we can come out of this Western way and be clean unto an African way, that the people can see us as loving out here, there, you know. That's the only way we can see princes coming out of Egypt. There's a work to be done here. It has to be done through love. If there's no love in the house, we can't, it's not going to happen. The greater works is us coming together and fulfilling the man work properly. Let us set back up the thing. I would like to have my ambassadorship set up in a way, my lord, that we can go forward onto our priesthood office and build back St. Croix properly, as how the father would have wanted. So I would like for that to happen, you know, whereby we can go home, you know, with our brothers and sisters and help build back that home ground, so we can do something about our brothers and sisters killing themselves out there. And then make sure that out here we're doing the same thing. Because, my lord, we cannot leave not one of the Most High children out here in prison. Every prison have to fly open, and our captives have to be set free. My lords, we have to set the foundation to be able to teach the captives that will be set free. And we have it. We can do it in a blink of an eye. We just need to have that love to guide us, my Lord. And the Black Christ give us that love. He said, God is love. Let us all love. And I seal with love, my Lord. Holy Emmanuel, King
Selassie,
Selassie.
Jah, Rastafari. My Lord, give thanks, heart and Sabbath,
Thank you,
and blessings to the eye and the fullness of the family. No. My Lord, blessed Lord, give thanks. Yes, my Lord and Majesty, we do give thanks to the Honorable Prophet Moambeh as he give thanks for the clarification. And yes, my Lord and Empresses, give thanks for Empress Mama Rachel there. An interesting analogy brought forth by the King. So give thanks again for the blessed Sabbath. Give thanks for Chalice Talk. Definitely looking forward to next round where the prophets would be with us. Prophet Sheldon from Trinidad, Prophet Ida Star in the UK, and Prophet Daniel in where is it in Colorado? Yes, definitely give thanks. And of course, yes, let us once again give thanks for the blessed young ones from the Bradshaw family that has definitely achieved their certification as well within the International Homeschool project, the International Homeschool Course, I should say. Once again, all blessings and love and enough congratulations. Again, of course, to the matriarch Tiffany, and of course, Benjamin and Brianna and Zechariah, and of course, Zadie. Yes, the full house. Blessed love to you all, and those who have, achieved their certification. Love, love. Definitely. And of course, remember, you can do the same as well. Just contact us, email precise27@gmail.com, and get more information as it relates to the International Homeschool. All right. Yes. So give thanks. Next Chalice Talk will be on the next level. Looking forward to it. Life giver and the keeper of life, give thanks for the Sabbath day, Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, blessed Lord.